Welcome back to the main stage and the MOTORFEST.
Hey there, I'm Yuki Tsunoda. And I'm here to tell you what to expect this month on the MOTORFEST main stage. A month of 100% racing and 100% revenue. It will be all about versatility and performance. Make your best times. Be fast, strategic, and ready to crush anyone. The podiums are waiting for you. See you on the grid.
For something fresh and new. This activity promises to be engaging.
I would say I use like a jet. I would say I use like a jet, you know, like you can see the fire from the exhaust, like full time. We risk our life, but it is what it is, you know, like, and
Go for Kara!
hopefully you get a good match. I would say I use like a jet. You know, like you can see the fire from the exhaust, like full time. We risk our life, but it is what it is, you know. Like, and hopefully you get a good machine. So I want to have like proper missile, and how do you say it, minigun.
Yeah, the one with the like Tommy gun.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. And
two bulls face each other proudly in the Maui sun, symbolizing the intense speed clash that awaits you. What do you think? This was generated by a cousin of mine. I'm not great with poetry, but talking to you about playlists, now that I can do. MOTORFEST takes on the colors of Red Bull, the most energetic brand in motorsport.
oil like a oil lead weapon.
Yeah, perfect. Mad Max style.
Yeah.
What's happening, guys? My name is Becky Ems, and welcome to MOTORFEST, the podcast, brought to you by Red Bull and Ubisoft's iconic game, The Crew MOTORFEST. This is the podcast where I get to chat with some of the world's leading motorsport athletes and delve into their passions for all things speed, wings and wheels. And the really cool thing is, you can actually listen into this podcast whilst you're playing the game. Today's guest was born with some serious athlete instincts. I'd be very surprised if you hadn't seen or heard of him. His name is Yuki Tsunoda, and what he's most famous for is his electrifying talent on the F1 grid. He's been racing for about 20 years. Well, that's if you also include his career as a kid go-karter, growing up in Sagamihara, about an hour away from Tokyo. He lives in Italy currently, but he's joining me today here in Milton Keynes. Yuki, thanks so much for being here, and welcome to the show. How are you?
Amazing. Yeah, just in the UK. Just flew back from Brazil. Yeah, just had to go 2 weeks gap, so excited for a bit of rest now.
So let's jump straight into it, Yuki. You've been described as a person who lights up a room when you...
They've been investing in iconic racing disciplines for decades, teaming up with most successful manufacturers. But they also sponsor more than 500 extraordinary athletes who represent the brand in their respective sports. We can't introduce them all to you, but our playlist host, Becky Evans, went to meet some of them in her show, MOTORFEST, the podcast. They're all specialists in the various motorsports you're about to enjoy. Meet us at our brand new playground at the summit of Maui, a world of molten lava and burning rubber. This one comes from my software. I couldn't help myself.
Exactly what you want, and you're unashamed and unafraid to express it. And in terms of your identity as a driver, you're known for quite a modern driving style. Could you break down what you feel your driving style is for us watching you on the screen?
My driving style, mainly, I have good confidence with the braking, so, you know, I'm good at attacking the braking, so you can use that also in, you know, the one lap qualifying lap, hot lap, and also to overtake someone. I think this is coming from the karting skills when I was very young, like, you know, 13, 20, 12 years old or whatever. my dad used to teach me a lot about braking, and that kind of base or DNA still inside my driving skill. And definitely I like to adapt braking. Recently, last 2 Grand Prix was a bit too much sometimes, and yeah, unfortunately a couple of times went to the wall. But still have good confidence, and feels great when you feel the G-force, the maximum longitudinal G-force when you have nailed the great braking.
How do you feel that you have evolved as a driver over these years, obviously starting in go-karting and then to present day?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things. When I was karting, a lot of emotional things that probably, as a human, I was growing significantly, fast, and especially those times. And at some point, I even didn't like much motorsports. I got distracted by other sports. I'm a person like, I want to try a lot of sports. I'm very active. So I tried like downhill mountain biking, swimming, a lot of kind of stuff, skateboarding, for example. And I knew somewhere in my mind that motorsport is the things that probably I'm very good at. And I started 4 years old, and there's always strong passion inside my heart. So it started. It's kind of went through those moments, and people throughout the years. And especially compared to first day Formula 1, which was 2021, and compared now, it's a lot different. Even that 4 years, this kind of environment makes my mindset as very strong as a human. Not just inside of racing, also outside of racing. I feel just in general place I feel grown.
That explains so much. When I watched you on that Red Bull series where it was you trying different sports, you absolutely shunned, because it was just like getting to do other things, and you were so happy and excited.
Serious race series, I think that called. I know you try to race with the vehicle that you don't normally race with, and adaptation to that is quite key. And probably because I was doing a lot of sports, you get used to it with adapting to some sports immediately. So probably that's why I'm good at it. And also the moments I feel a lot of adrenaline, I have to go flat out. I go flat out from straight away from the once I hold the steering and see how it goes. And those kind of moments I really get excited.
Yuki, I feel like you'd make a great drift driver. From everything you've just said there, I think you'd be very good at it. I can't wait for the day to see you in a drift car.
Hey, I love drifting. Yes, when I was in karting, in rain condition, for example, you can drift around, right? Especially, for the entry, it's actually sometimes good to drift a little bit to rotate the car and, to drive fast in the corner. But current Formula 1, it's hard to drift, you can drift, but not the drift that probably every people thinking about, it's not like Tokyo Drift, you can't just drift all the way through a corner. Sometimes actually drifting is good training for us because of, it's still, there's a lot of sliding, while in the hot lap. But because of we got used to it too much with the grip, that try to not slide too much, sometimes you can't really react as much as you used to be. So actually drifting training is, some drivers does it, and actually some point even when I went back to Japan, I did some time on the snow doing something drifting and just have fun.
This is a question that I'm asking all of my guests in all seriousness. If you could be a car, a plane, a boat, or a motorbike, which would you be and why?
Oh, good question. I'm thinking either plane or motorbike. I think a plane is quite good because you can fly around, but probably it'll be boring. You see just same view all the time, so above the clouds. So I would choose motorbike.
We're trying to match people's personalities with which vehicle they take. I love the fact that you chose the plane. You're like, kind of boring. Floating about up there. We'll take the motorbike.
I'm actually quite easy to get boring with any sports. That's why I got distracted with a lot of sports. That's probably one of the reasons that I got distracted. But it's just easy to get bored.
That's my favourite tagline from this podcast. Yuki Tsunoda, great driver, easily distracted. Okay, so
two bulls face each other proudly in the Maui sun, symbolizing the intense speed clash that awaits you. What do you think? This was generated by a cousin of mine. I'm not great with poetry, but talking to you about playlists, now that I can do. MOTORFEST takes on the colors of Red Bull, the most energetic brand in motorsport.
Hi boys and girls, Becky Evans here. I'm joining MOTORFEST for this new playlist, and I didn't come alone. Red Bull sets up at the summit of Maui on a playground dedicated to every possible racing discipline. We love it. In this playlist, you get to become a pro at every discipline and find out which discipline is the best.
The clash of disciplines starts now. To get the full experience, check out Sounds of Red Bull, the new track list in the music player. To the next objective. We start this Red Bull playlist with a rally cross race. Let's see how the Ford Puma Hybrid will fare against other rally monsters, like the Audi Quattro, the Citroën C3, or the Focus RS. But before that, we take a look at MOTORFEST, the podcast.
Welcome to MOTORFEST, the podcast. Here, I get real with Red Bull athletes to tell us about the intensity of... Welcome to the Red Bull playground, boys and girls. Becky Evans here, improvising as the voice of the playlist. Ray Waller, the official voice of the festival, is bedridden, but don't worry, he'll be back soon. I'll be commentating on what you see, and don't blink because things are going to happen fast. It's a cross-terrain race, just like this playlist, mixing all the disciplines of racing. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always wanted to say that. In my last podcast, Timmy Hansen explained how essential it is to gather enough speed, keep the nose up, and land flat for a successful jump. Woohoo! Looks like this one listened to the podcast.
grid today, I see the Audi S1 EKS RX Quattro, the 2016 World Champion, has started in first position. But the big surprise, undoubtedly the Ford Puma Hybrid Rally 1, the brand's first electrified rally car. Playground, boys and girls. Becky Evans here, improvising as the voice of the playlist. Ray Waller, the official voice of the festival, is bedridden, but don't worry, he'll be back soon. I'll be commentating on what you see, and don't blink because things are going to happen fast. Entering a tunnel for the first time. Now they have to adapt their driving to the tarmac. It's a cross-terrain race, just like this playlist, mixing all the disciplines of racing. Second lap, ladies and gentlemen. I've always wanted to say that. In my last podcast, Timmy Hampton explained how essential it is to gather enough speed, keep the nose up, and land flat for a successful jump. Woohoo! Looks like this one listens to the podcast. We have dirt legends on the grid today. I see the Audi S1 EKS RX Quattro, the 2016 World Champion, has started in first position. But the big surprise, undoubtedly the Ford Puma Hybrid Rally 1, the brand's first electrified rally car. Boys and girls.
Time for a first clash of disciplines. 2 disciplines, 2 paths. Choose your discipline and prove that it can set the fastest time. Becky, your turn.
Boys and girls, I'm super excited because we get to see the first clash of motorsports. We're staying in the dirt, and you know the first opponent because we already saw it in action, the Puma. But for the second, you'll have to listen to my last interview.
Hi, I'm Robbie Madison. I'm freestyle motocross rider. I've done a lot of cool stunts.
As a champion athlete and stunt performer, what does flirting with the limit mean for you?
To me, flirting with the limit is like being in the moment. When you're able to flirt with the limit, you're operating it.
You've chosen the KTM 450. Get ready to push boundaries like Robbie would.
Witnessing a real speed clash. The first one to the finish is the winner. Right now, the bike and the car are on the same course, but to keep things fair, they'll diverge onto separate routes, designed to let each vehicle work to its full potential. The course is about to split. Straight ahead for the car, right for the motorcycle. KTM definitely has the advantage of airtime. She's much better at jumping. but the Puma can deal with asphalt and is more reliable on straights. Both have their strong points. Which one will exploit theirs best? No matter the vehicle, dirt requires reflexes, but above all, instinct. Making the right choices quickly is the key to surviving the race. KTM wins!
Dirt chapter is finished. We're moving on to asphalt vehicles. We start quietly, and I use big quotation marks, with a little warm-up ride on a racing bike.
Podcast studio. Listen to this, folks. What you're hearing is the sound of the KTM RC 16 2022 version, and that's my guess for today. 4 cylinders, 1,000 cubic centimetres, 250 horsepower for just 346 pounds. Take a look at this dynamic marvel. Get ready to drive in the time attack. Don't forget, when you're driving along the coast of Maui or the streets of Honolulu, you can listen to all the podcast episodes on the Sounds of Red Bull track list. Now, time to unleash the moto racing power.
Attention boys and girls, this event can seem simple, but it's crucial for our driver. A time attack to test whether the driver can handle the next clash of disciplines. And no lie, it's definitely not safe. Boys and girls, this event can seem simple, but it's crucial for our driver. A time attack to test whether the driver can handle the next clash of disciplines. Safe. The RC16 is a little marvel. We had to wait until 2017 to see the RB KTM factory join the competition. The brand has won everything in other competitions, so it was time to see them take on moto racing. It's the last lap. Moto test passed. Now our driver can either play it safe with something unknown. It's an agonizing decision.
Clash of disciplines in sight. When a racing bike meets a racing car, it's a real battle for the asphalt.
For the next one, we'll put two disciplines in a head-to-head race and see which one crosses the line first. Racing car or racing bike? Which one is the best? Will it be the beautiful Ferrari 488 in its circuit version, or the KTM RC16 that we all know has great skills? I'm leaning towards the bike. It's lighter and its top speed flirts with 224 miles per hour. It's the logical choice, but aren't we here to defy the laws of logic? Racing car addicts, it's up to you to prove otherwise.
Ferrari meets Red Bull.
No individual courses today. It's a pure face-off on a circuit designed for both vehicles. So I don't want to hear any sore losers complaining. May the best win. On track this evening, the KTM RC16 takes on the Ferrari 488 GT3. 600 horsepower for 2,777 pounds for the Italian machine, while the Austrian Stallion boasts only 270 horsepower, but for 346 pounds, not insignificant. The car and the bike can both turn well at speed, but it's the exit of the turn and the entry into the next one that will be decisive. Isn't a track. It's been specially resurfaced to provide a little extra speed. Look at the volcano smoke. So cool. Regardless of who wins, this clash has a lot to live up to. The Ferrari, standard bearer of racing cars, has just put an end to the discussion.
Radio Flash. Hear all the insights on the world of racing on Sounds of Red Bull, the official channel of motorsport.
Hey boys and girls, I hope you can keep up because we're about to go hard with the elite of motorsports, the AGP. Cars that can easily go up to 220 miles per hour. And because we always want more in this playlist, we add boost gauges. It's going to be strategic. And as always, I did my homework and talked all things racing with a pro driver. You might know him, Yuki Tsunoda.
Could you break down what you feel your driving style is for us watching you on the screen?
My dad used to teach me a lot about braking. Definitely, I like to...
Drivers are focused. The start is imminent. will be decisive. Second lap. It's raining. It's going to be a completely different race from now on. Circuit. 4 generations, RB13, 14, 18 and 20. 7 years of evolution from Renault to Honda engines. Between them, these 4 account for more than 70 podiums. Ultimate lap. Drivers, if you've got any extra nitro, now's the time to use it. Victory. Proof that RB AGP just keeps getting better and better.
You've just discovered the RB20. You can keep it for what follows, but you can also opt for a vehicle that's a little less earthbound. The choice is yours.
podcast, guys. As you've seen, the playground is a motorsport paradise, but there's still a place that we haven't experienced so far. The sky. I was lucky enough to feature Luke Chapella, Red Bull Air Race pilot, famous for being the first to land the plane on the very tiny helipad 600 feet in the air.
I'd love to know more about the bullseye stunt.
This is the second time that Red Bull is loaning you the RB20. You'll start to make a Dutchman jealous.
Unsurprisingly, the AGP has the advantage on startup, but once the plane is airborne, it's a different story. If you're a Red Bull addict, you'll probably know that this isn't the first time an AGP and a plane have been put on the same grid. Last time, it was in a straight line in a drag race. Here the plane will have to make very tight turns if it wants to keep up with the AGP, which is much more accustomed to doing so. That's really exciting! We entered the second lap. I'm sure you're familiar with the RB20 on the track today, certainly more so than its aerial rival. Stressed for 10G and capable of reaching 975 meters per minute, its size makes it the perfect aerobatic aircraft. Let's hope our pilot will give us a taste. They're neck and neck. Succession of turns is tricky. When it comes to speed, the AGPs play in a different division.
To close this Red Bull playlist. This one is big. Confronting two disciplines is not enough. So MOTORFEST and Red Bull are offering you the choice of three. Which is the best? Becky asked our Red Bull athletes what they think.
honest opinion, between rally, AGP and motor racing, which is the most intense discipline? The one that brings the craziest sensations?
I think it's motor racing, actually.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I think F1, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'd go for Formula One.
Rallycross, moto racing, or AGP? Here comes the ultimate challenge of the playlist, but also the end of the podcast. But I'm never far away. I'm always on the air. You find all the podcasts on the Sounds of Red Bull tracklist. And then, I don't know why, but I feel like we'll see each other again soon. It's off to the apex of the playlist.
The Ford Fiesta replaced another Ford at short notice. The Puma missed weight.
Who will cross the line first in this head-to-head race? Answer in, about a few minutes. The rally car has already changed its course to reach the dirt. Each vehicle has its own special route designed to match its strengths. The AGP stands out for its speed and braking quality, and of course it sticks to asphalt and is unbeatable in corners. So to make things fair, it will be racing the longest route. The bike's route, on the other hand, is shorter but ultra-technical, forcing the rider to swing through the curves without losing speed. Acceleration, its all-terrain capability means it can compete with faster rivals. Time for the family photo. The AGP seems to be ahead for the moment, but don't forget that its path is the longest. Everything can still change. To win the ultimate racetrack, the Speed War. set the fastest time.
Don't forget to grab your reward vehicle, driver. End of speed clash, the first milestone in a promising relationship between Red Bull and MOTORFEST. I'm sure this is just the beginning. You've discovered a multitude of racing vehicles in this playlist, all of them motorsports gems. But we had to choose just one for the reward. We thought maybe you wouldn't mind having a Red Bull branded Ferrari in your garage. The Ferrari F48 GT3 FE Corse is just for you. Playlist constraints removed. You can now experience it, driver. How about giving a brand new playlist a go? See ya! At your service, driver. Activity promises to be engaging. Next activity, set it and let's go. Cars are probably the most impressive machines out there when it comes to showing the best of current car engineering and new technologies. If you truly want to catch a glimpse of the future, it's another type of vehicle that wears the laurels: concept cars.
amazing.
What's up, guys? It's Supercar Blondie. I'm here to make you discover the rarest and most inconceivable cars on this planet. We're talking getting up close and personal. I'm joining the MOTORFEST adventure with one goal in mind. Gather the best concept cars ever made and put you in the driver's seat. Check this out, guys. Ready? For the first time, we are unleashing these dream cars and putting them to the test. And it's up to you to unlock their full potential. After all, this is no regular motor show. This is MOTORFEST. The future awaits. Are you ready?
Supercar Blondie and her crew are waiting for you, ready to give you a real taste of the future. Let's move on to another activity. We're on our way to meet Alex. She'll personally introduce the two first cars to you and stay in touch as you're driving. All you got to do is pick one for our first event and get as much out of it as you can. First episode, Concept Lamborghinis. Which of these two Super Bulls will you pick first? Egoista or Terzo Millennio?
What's up, guys? It's Supercar Blondie here in Hawaii at MOTORFEST, and I'm ready to introduce our very first two supercars. I reckon if we're going to do this, we gotta start big. Our first theme, concept cars by Lamborghini. Right, you can choose between the very rarely seen Lamborghini Egoista or the I cannot believe this is real Terzo Millennio, and just feel what it's like to set them free in this world. You think you're ready? Let's go.
Terzo Millennio, the most futuristic Lambo ever made. And let's be honest, you can never go wrong with a Lamborghini. too intense here. Just pull back slightly. Guys, the Lamborghini Terzo Millennio like you've never seen it before.
The Italian bull never ceases to amaze. Catch your breath, warm-up is over. It's now time for a duel. But put these incredible cars up against each other. After all, these two units, straight from the Lamborghini Museum, don't want to just sit still.
Lamborghini Terzo Millennio. I'm on it. Good choice. All right, that Lamborghini. Everyone, no time to rest. The MOTORFEST tradition is never stop driving. And you know what they say, when in Rome. We're talking Egoista versus Terzo Millennio right here. It's happening. We're filming all of this, and wow, that view. Isn't it awesome? All right, I've been told that that path is a little more technical. Give us a good show, but, you know, watch your turns. Keep your wits about you. Not to make you nervous, but these cars must not, under any circumstance, end up in a ditch. They're worth millions of dollars. I just gotta remind you guys that this race is unprecedented. These two incredible cars going head to head. We've gotta go for it. We're reaching the toughest part now. Lots of turns from here on. Wipe your brow because we're finally out of these curves. Now's a good time to throw down that foot. Number one.
Don't let your guard down. We're just getting started. Your Dream Cars experience moves forward with our second theme. Dream Bugattis. I know. Pretty much every Bugatti model to date already looks incredibly advanced. So how much further can they go? Well, Alex has selected two cars that'll give you a definite answer to that question. Two Bugattis that push the manufacturer's boundaries to new horizons. The Bugatti Veyron and La Voiture Noire. We're here. Time for you to choose between the two most avant-garde Bugattis ever made. Careful out there. Don't forget, these cars are priceless.
What's up, guys? The show continues.
The Bugatti La Voiture Noire. Let me tell you more about this incredible car.
Hey guys, we're back for a new round and it's all about Bugattis this time. Two exquisite hypercar concepts. And if you're anything like me, you're gonna love this. In and out of the city in just seconds. You know, not all concept cars have finished interiors, but the cars we've chosen really do, and you've got to see them. My tip would be to switch to the cockpit view to take a closer look. This is your chance to admire the incredibly futuristic interior as well. Don't get too distracted, of course. You've still got to stay on the road. Just a few more checkpoints. We've got to keep up the pace. The only one of its kind. It's absolutely incredible.
Veyron versus Noir. There's a certain ring to it, don't you think? Well, guess what? That's our next headline. Do you think you're up to the job?
The Bugatti La Voiture Noire, the one and only. Great choice.
What's up, guys? It's Supercar Blondie here with you.
Hey guys, did you like our previous run? Then you're in for a treat. Same deal. After showing off, time for a proper face-off, MOTORFEST style. These cars are both able to reach insane speeds. Second lap, 2 more to go. The Veyron and La Voiture Noire. These cars are at the pinnacle of luxury, and yet they're also defined by their incredible power. guys, these two Bugattis aren't done yet. Are you guys enjoying the show? Use the car's full potential, unleash it, no regrets. Go for it, driver. The Lava once again shows why it's the most expensive car ever made.
After the Bugatti showdown, we're staying in France, but this time with two 100% French iconic manufacturers. I'm telling you, when it comes to design, that country brings some serious out-of-the-box thinking to the mix. Is about to bring on stage this time are as gorgeous as they're unconventional. Two UFOs that bring a delightful sci-fi flavour to this playlist. Live the dream à la française.
What's up, guys?
Going for the Renault Trezor? Don't you agree it's one of the most beautiful cars ever made?
everyone. One of my favorite looking cars in the world.
You guessed it. The last face-up of this playlist starts now. The Renault Trésor faces the GT by Citroën. This duel is going to be incroyable.
The Citroën GT. Who knew Citroën had such a cool factor?
Ah, so you like 'em mean and intimidating.
What's up, guys? The Supercar Blondie channel is back online for a race between two cars that are just out of this world. The outstanding Citroën GT versus my personal crush, the Renault Trésor. And icing on the cake, the weather here couldn't be more beautiful. Tower. Does anyone know what it's called? Here we are, cruising down the legendary Waikiki Beach at speeds that'll rip through you. What a view! The city is all ours. Do not slow down. We're going straight through that building. Not many turns in the upcoming stretch of road, driver. Go for it. Time for our French sci-fi duel, starting with full power on this strip of Hawaiian freeway. The Citroën GT, mean, intimidating and uncompromising during this race. Well done, driver.
Any car fan in the world would love to be in your shoes right now. borrowed the most incredible concept cars there are. You witnessed what comes out of the greatest car manufacturers' minds when they let their creativity run wild. And you got to exploit these speedsters' full potential, which to this day is something only a few people on Earth have had the chance to do. Noticed that MOTORFEST likes to finish their playlist strong, haven't you? So there's probably a little voice in your head telling you that something even bigger is to be expected for the final event. Is right. Supercar Blondie is waiting for you up north next to Mokuleya Park. She's gathered all the concept cars you drove today for one unconceivable race. Considering that these cars will be your opponents, Alex got you one last incredible vehicle to race with them. We weren't sure we'd get it on time, and Alex clearly had to pull a few strings. But it is here, waiting for you. The Mercedes EQ Silver Arrow.
Welcome back, guys. All right, now it's time for you to race all of the cars in the playlist at the same time. Your car and the final car to be introduced into the Dream Cars lineup is the Mercedes Vision EQ Silver Arrow. This is a beautiful, sleek, all-electric car with room just for you. It has this intense paintwork that gives off the feel of liquid metal. And when you step inside, it features a panoramic screen to help you navigate. A car that was made for this very race. So I'm not going to say any more. You just need to jump in behind the wheel and see for yourself. This is Supercar Festival. Let's do this. Right, it's on.
The last event of the dream experience. Everything has led to this moment. We're going all the way south of the island, so this is going to be a long and tough race. Expect some serious ups and downs on this path. Down now, watch for the curves. Whoop, careful. There's only one of these cars in the world. This is a showdown to behold. Even for me, this race is a big first. Stay tuned, everyone. It's raining supercar concepts here. The volcano just appeared in the distance, which means we're about halfway through. All right, what does our driver have to say about the Silver Arrow? Moved heaven and earth to get you this car, but it was totally worth it. Just look at this thing. Tell me this is not the most futuristic car you've ever seen, or better yet, driven. The Mercedes EQ Silver Arrow is 100% electric and was made as a tribute to the previous Silver Arrows, including the famous 1938 speed record breaker, the Mercedes Record Wagen. I'd love to explore that special MOTORFEST car meet and see some custom shows. That's something I always love to do when I get the opportunity. right, we're almost there. We'll soon know the winner. Will Mercedes keep its speed record? Come on, driver, push that silver arrow. She can take it. This was the Dream Cars experience, organised by MOTORFEST and the Supercar Blondie channel. I hope you guys had an awesome time.
Make sure to get your vehicle reward, driver. This was the Dream Cars playlist, presented by Supercar Blondie. This partnership went way beyond our expectations. A total success. And Alex is so much fun. Like in all other playlists, challenges are available, so you can enjoy the world of concept cars some more. And the best part is, you now have your own dream car waiting for you at the container. You drove it in your final performance. You brought the best in it during a race that will remain in everyone's memory. And now it's yours, the Mercedes EQ Silver Arrow. Playlist is ready to try. Let's go try it. Let's give the new playlist a spin. Where to find me, driver.